Alright guys, let's get into the brand new feature of the game they just added, the Tower of Champions. Let me show you my build first. So I'm going to just start off with the speed build that I have. I don't even have max gems on it, runes on it. I just have 110 movement speed. Try and go as fast as I can, and I'm using Mutineer. I think Mutineer is definitely one of the best mob clearing weapons that you can get. So if you have one of those, definitely use it for the Tower Champions. As you can see here, I'm taking advantage of that sword, just hacking through. Basically, you just need to kill one monster, and then by running Lethal Pull, the rest of Mutineer's proc will do the rest of the damage for you. Just kill one monster and pulls in, because Lethal Pull I do have it at maxed. It does about 350 damage on pull. So most of your shards in this mode come from what I've noticed, that it comes from the Fallen Champions. So the strategy I started to do is to basically try to get in the next floor as soon as possible, because there's almost always a fallen champion at the start of the next floor. So after the first floor, you'll almost always see a fallen champion. And the thing about the fallen champion is they get affected by status effects and things like pull, stun, poison, slow. All those things affect them. So it makes Mutineer effect stronger here, and it hurts them too. So when you see them, just kill one of the little mobs, and then your pool will do the rest of the damage for you. In the first few levels, so I'm showing you guys the weaker levels right now, level 6 and 7. They're pretty easy, but then again, that's because I'm also running a 5 million might set right now. I've heard other people tell me that they had issues trying to keep up with the time at 700 might. What I would suggest is that probably for the dev team to add the might difficulty or might recommendation to the floor, so at least we'll know what we should aim for going into those levels. And like I said, most of your shards come from the fallen champions, to try to kill them as much as you can, and it will build up your bar a lot faster and allow you to beat the timer. What I noticed is that the timer is about 3 minutes. So you basically have 3 minutes for each floor. Not each floor, but yeah, 3 minutes for each floor. See that? After I finished it, I had about 1 minute and 27 seconds left. Now each floor has its own drop pool. You can click on the chest, and on the chest it will show you what the possible drops are for that floor. Alright, so let's go to one more, hour 8. You can see it's quite similar to the Diablo ribs, actually. Now the rewards that you get are not the same drop pool as you would see from Fallen Champion. Like, let's say, for example, just because you killed like 4 or 5 of them, it doesn't mean that you're getting loot from every single one. The loot that you get only comes from the boss that you kill at the end. And then there's a drop pool based upon the floor of how, from reroll stones to keys to gems and even items. You saw earlier I picked up an Ember pants. The rarest item you can probably get that I saw on level 30, I haven't gotten there yet, but you can check the drop pool. The rarest item I saw was the Grim Shield. But I noticed that once you get up to the you don't really need so I have Frenzy equipped right now, but once I get into the higher levels, Frenzy doesn't really help that much anymore. It's better to run another active skill. As we jump into the next video, you'll see that the monsters, not the monsters, but the fallen champions get progressively harder, and their damage is also significantly more. Because of that, I still, my other build, my actual Rift build, will be running protection and perfect defense, because once you get high enough, I recommend that you should pop your protection to take 0 damage every time you encounter a fallen champion. You see here, the fallen champion's poison took a chunk of my life right there. And my regular attacks, once you reach, so this is floor 15. So as you get higher, the regular attacks start to do less damage, especially when you encounter a fallen champion and the boss. Most of your damage will be coming from your skills. That's why in this, for my speed set, I dropped protection. Since I don't have perfect defense on this set, protection doesn't really help me that much. But switching on to my Rift set, in the next floor, you will see that see me use protection and so forth. Overall, I think it's a good new mechanic to the game. What I recommend for you guys is to not spend money on the tickets, or spend any gems on the tickets until the last day or the last 2 days, depending on if you guys want to spend cash at all. They're giving us 3 free tickets every day for 6 days in a row. So that means you'll be able to get to floor 18. Once you get to the 18th floor, depending on how difficult it is, you can decide whether you want to spend additional gems or actual cash in order to get to level 30. Well, the reason why I recommend this is that for most of you guys, it will start getting difficult around 18, and even for myself, once I get to the 20s, it might not be worth it to purchase the ticket ahead of time or so forth if I can't really beat the level. Because if you can't beat the level, you won't get any of the rewards. And the difference between the rewards at level 20 versus level 30 is not that much. I already checked it earlier, and you can see it for yourself that the reroll stone, they give you about, so you get 7 reroll stones at level 20, and then at level 30 you get 10 reroll stones. So there's not much of a difference between the two. And the rate is between 18% and a maximum of 25% for the reroll stones, while the drop for the epic gear is pretty much the same, between 1 to 2%. You see here in this one, I swapped to my Rift build. So this is going to be my actual Rift build once I get to the higher levels. What I noticed, I didn't need any healing at all, so I'll probably be switching that out for protection, because the healing orbs that they give you actually give a lot of life, a lot more than what Meteor does. You can see my damage is significantly more with my weapon attack. Though I still like Mutineer. It's much. I still feel that it's faster, but then once I go against a champion like that, it won't do as much damage as Charming Blaze. So for those who follow me with the world boss builds, you can pretty much reuse your Charming Blaze, Meteor, and Thunderstrike. Those are very effective skills and weapons to use, especially when the monsters start to take more damage. What I recommend is try to add in a little bit of movement speed. Right now I'm running 30%. You can use your attack to move around. That's definitely fast, but then when you're actually running around the castle looking for monsters, you'll need some movement speed for that. I recommend that you run perfect defense, especially for when you go against the more difficult champions and the bosses. And to run a decent amount of damage too, because you'll need that. And then they also have unique bosses like this guy, where he can take multiple hits and basically take no damage, because he has a timer on him where he can. I think he can only get hit when he's attacking you, so that's important to you to watch out for that. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I gave you my strategy, what I think of the Tower Champions for now, and I'll follow up with another video once I get to the more higher levels. See you guys later.